If you love Riverdale as much as we do, you'll be happy to know that there's a spin-off series coming your way. Katy Keene is set to star one of the coolest cats in town, so watch until the end to find out which Riverdale character will be moving to the Big Apple. What to expect? The Television Critics Association press tour left us with our mouths wide open, and no, we weren't trying to catch any flies. Instead, we were stunned to hear that the CW will be coming out with a brand new dramedy that has a lot in common with Riverdale. The spin-off is set to air sometime in 2020, but a concrete date has yet to be set. So for the time being, we're left with more questions than answers. But by the end of this video, you'll be up to date on everything the CW has promised so far. So what can you expect from the recently announced TV series, Katy Keene? Well, great things, no doubt. However, this new show isn't going to be anything like Riverdale. According to Deadline magazine, the series will take place in a few years after the Riverdale crew graduates from high school. So, it's set to appeal to both teenagers and young adults alike. Instead of solving peculiar crimes and getting into trouble, the show will follow 4 aspiring artists as they try to make it big in New York City. And obviously though, the show's leading woman is going to be Katy Keene, who is a well-known Archie Comics character. The Riverdale universe is expanding like wildfire, so it was only a matter of time before the show's director, Roberto Aguirre-Sacasa, chose to take on a new project. And since The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina got snatched up by Netflix, Roberto had to set his sights elsewhere. Katy Keene is all about the performing arts, so expect there to be a lot more musical performances than showcased on Riverdale. So now that you know what to expect, let's take a look at how the spin-off will differ from the original series.
The Coopers are one of the most respected families in Riverdale. You two are just a couple Centerville scumbags.
What not to expect? In a perfect world, Katy Keene would showcase all of our favorite Riverdale characters. Unfortunately, only one character has been confirmed to appear in both series so far, but that doesn't necessarily mean that other ones won't follow. Riverdale fans were super excited to find out that Roberto was going to be directing both series, but their bubbles burst when it was confirmed that these two projects wouldn't be crossing over with each other. But there's a good reason for that. Since Katy Keene is set in the future, crossovers wouldn't make much sense now, would they? So, while there might be a character cameo or two down the line, the plots won't be feeding off of each other. And since Katy Keene takes place several years after our favorite Riverdale characters graduate from high school, we shouldn't expect teenage drama to be the focal point of the show. Although it would be super entertaining to see what the Riverdale gang is up to in their late 20s.
What happened that day on the river, Cheryl? We've never talked about it.
The spin-off isn't going to focus on the past. Instead, it will highlight the struggles of the modern-day artist. Now, let's find out who this mysterious Katy Keene is. We mean, she must be pretty special. After all, the show is named after her. All about Katy Keene. At first glance, it's easy to mistake Katy for Veronica, and this has everything to do with her big black hair. But we can assure you that these two divas have a little in common. Katy was first showcased in Wilbur Comics number 5, which came out in 1945. Although she was first as a secondary character, Katy was special enough to receive her own comic book 4 years later. So it looks like history is sort of repeating itself. But this time, she's set to receive her very own TV show. So what makes Katy Keene so interesting? Well, for starters, she's a real superstar. Katy is an actress, a model, and a singer. So she's a triple threat if we've ever seen one. For now, Katy Keene's role has yet to be cast, but something is definitely in the works. Although the pilot episode has been completed, it's yet to be confirmed if the series will make it all the way to the finish line. The 4 stars. When Katy's character was first created, she was made to have a much younger sister. At first, Katy's sister was named Sis, the Candy Kid, but before long, her name was revealed to be Melissa. Melissa is said to be a fierce redhead who is constantly getting into trouble, and although she was originally 14 years younger than Katy, new plots are in the making. In 1950, it was decided that Melissa would become an older and more prominent character, and her name was eventually changed to Mackenzie, so she might very well be one of the leading leading characters in the series. And since Katy is set to be about 26 years old in the modern-day remake, this places Mackenzie at roughly 20 years old. However, Mackenzie might be showcased as a secondary character, which would leave room for Katy's rivals to enter the plot. So we're left to believe that characters Gloria Grandvelt and Lucky Lorelai might make an appearance sometime soon. Gloria and Lucky are two wealthy models who often pose as Katy's rivals. However, their characters might get tweaked in a positive way. So we're led to believe that Katy, Gloria, Lucky, and a mysterious Riverdale star will be stealing the spotlight. Although Gloria and Lucky are said to be rude and spoiled, this doesn't necessarily mean that we won't like them. After all, Cheryl Blossom isn't the nicest person in Riverdale.
Get your sapphic serpent hands off my body!
But she still managed to win us over. So who's to say that the same won't happen with Gloria and Lucky? A passion for fashion. Katy Keene is known for being America's queen of pinups and fashions. As a matter of fact, she was coined as such by the Archie Comics publisher. Unlike other comic book characters, Katy was hardly ever seen wearing the same thing twice, so to make sure that Katy's wardrobe was always on point, readers were encouraged to design her outfits. So for many years, Katy's fans submitted outfit drawings to the publication, and many of them were chosen and displayed. Knowing this, we're certain that Katy's wardrobe is going to be nothing short of spectacular, and since the series is based in the future, her closet might be jam-packed with futuristic designs. Since the series is said to showcase Broadway plays and fashion shows, we can only imagine that a lot of the production's budget will go into the costume making. So if you love glamour and everything that comes with it, Katy Keene might just inspire your fashion sense. After all, Katy is sort of a trendsetter.
Where did you get all this information?
Katy's look. Pinup girls used to be a pretty big deal, which is why many of them are still remembered today. One of the most popular pinup girls who ever lived was none other than Betty Page. And let's face it, she and Katy are basically the same person. But although Katy is often referred to as a Betty Page look-alike, her personality is totally unique. Here's something you might not know. Singer Katy Perry basically stole Katy Keene's look, but she didn't get away with it. Not only does Katy Perry resemble the Archie Comics character, but she's also been accused of copying her fashion sense. When the internet found out that Katy Perry had ripped off the character, people went wild with accusations. So during an interview with Rolling Stone magazine, the singer had this to say: "I didn't base my life on an Archie Comics character." Funny enough, the singer later revealed that she also has a younger sister with red hair, so we're not entirely convinced that Katy P and Katy K are so different after all. And if you believe otherwise, just take a look at these pictures and see for yourself. So are we the only ones who think that Katy Perry should play Katy Keene? Because let's face it, she's the perfect girl for the job. Familiar faces. So we're about ready to reveal which Riverdale character is set to appear in the spin-off Katy Keene, and it's none other than Josie McCoy. Actress Ashley Murray has already been cast in the upcoming series, and we're super excited to see her live out her dream. Josie is without a doubt the most talented singer on Riverdale, so it makes perfect sense that she would want to move to New York to become a star. After all, Josie's talents would be wasted in Riverdale. And even though she might enjoy singing in the basement of Pop's malt shop, she can do much better. No offense, Veronica. Here's something that might shock you. Ashley is actually 31 years old in real life, so it makes perfect sense that the actress is leaving Riverdale to pursue a more age-appropriate timeline. However, Ashley looks so young that she could probably pose as a high school student for the next decade and no one would even notice. On another note, it's very possible that some of the Riverdale actors might one day join the Katy Keene production. However, this has yet to be confirmed. Nevertheless, we'd love to see Veronica Lodge make a guest appearance on the show. And since Veronica originally hails from New York, this could very well happen. On top of that, actress Camila Mendez, who plays Veronica, has stated time and time again that she loves the performing arts. And since her fashion sense, dance moves, and voice are nothing short of stellar, she would make a fantastic Katy Keene character. So if things don't work out between Archie and Veronica, perhaps the socialite will choose to go back to her roots and expand her empire. But we sure hope that these two teenagers will come to their senses and rekindle sometime soon. Bizarrodale. Although we're sad to see Josie go, we can't wait to see her become the next Diana Ross. If you're all caught up with the latest Riverdale episode, you probably noticed that Josie was hinting towards wanting to start a new life. Sure, she might have grown up in Riverdale, but the town doesn't have the best reputation. Knowing this, Josie applied to Juilliard, which is located in New York. Despite having an on and off again fling with Sweet Pea, Josie sets her sights on Archie for a change. Josie asked Sweet Pea to accompany her to her mother's wedding, but he declined her invitation because she didn't want to make things official between them. So Josie ended up inviting Archie instead, and on top of that, Archie agreed to drive Josie to her Juilliard audition. Unfortunately for her, the audition didn't go as planned, which left her feeling vulnerable. So we're not surprised that the Bizarro Dell episode ended with Josie and Archie kissing. Unfortunately for them, Josie is set to leave Riverdale at the end of season 3, so their relationship is bound to be short-lived. Despite the fact that Josie's audition was a bust, we're sure that she's going to redeem herself sometime soon. And we have to say that we're relieved, because let's be real, Archie and Veronica belong together. Who will be cast as Katy Keene? By now, we all know that Katy Keene is going to be a big hit, but there are a lot of things that have yet to be confirmed. For now, the only existing cast member is Ashley Murray, so we're not surprised to find out that fans are getting impatient. The Katy Keene pilot episode and trailer is currently being worked on, so it's only a matter of time before the rest of the cast is secured. The trailer will premiere on Netflix sometime in 2019, however, we don't expect the first scene to air before 2020. But since the series is in high demand, producers might work extra hard to get it out as quickly as possible. Katy Keene is said to be a brunette who often dyes her hair or wears wigs during photo shoots, so this makes it that much harder to point a finger at anyone. Before you go, make sure you let us know which 3 actresses would be a perfect fit for Katy's character. And if you're right, we'll make sure to give you a shout out in our next Katy Keene video. And that's a wrap. Don't forget to subscribe to The Things to be the first in line for the latest news. Thanks for watching and see you next time.